Welcome to 100 Yards of Football this morning. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. We surely appreciate it here on 100 Yards of Football. I'd like to give special thanks, honor, and prayers to my producer who's making it happen today, the very talented Mr. Jeremiah Long. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. And today's video, it's our Legends video, is on Rickey Jackson, linebacker of the New Orleans Saints by way of the University of Pittsburgh. So if you like the video this morning, please come in and share it. Rickey Jackson, 6'2", 240 pounds, out of the state of Florida. And you think about Rickey Jackson playing the linebacker position in the late 70s and early 80s. And I'm going to start with his career at Pitt. Now, you know, Pittsburgh was very powerful from 1977 to about 1983. And they had some great football players that played at Pittsburgh at that time, coached by the great Jackie Sherrill. But think about the people they had on their squad. Dan Marino, Mark May, Jimbo Covert, Tim Lewis, Dwight Collins, and of course the great Hugh Green. But at that time, everybody was talking about Hugh Green, how he was an outstanding freshman linebacker out of Natchez, Mississippi. Remember, he made the cover of Sports Illustrated, I believe, in the 1979 season. But nobody talked about his partner on the other side, Rickey Jackson. Nobody said nothing about him. And it was a game during that time, and I was watching a lot of University of Pittsburgh football at the time. Everybody knows I was attending the University of Arkansas because Rickey Jackson is a year older than me. But there was one game that I watched that Pittsburgh played in the 1980 season. Because remember, Hugh Green was a senior that year, and everybody was talking about Hugh Green and all the great defensive players in the country at that time. Lawrence Taylor at North Carolina, Bobby Butler at Florida State. Boy, there was some studs then. Carlton Wilmsman, another outstanding safety that was playing at the University of Pittsburgh, Kenny Easley at UCLA. But nobody was mentioning Rickey Jackson. And I remember going back to the game, as I'm finna mention, was against the University of Army. And that game, that gentleman had 12 tackles, 2.3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. And you know what? I said to myself, this guy might be better than Hugh Green. But as time kind of started moving ahead, we know that Hugh Green went in the first round in the 1981 draft. And then Rickey Jackson went in the second round, 57 overall. And boy, look what type of NFL career did he have, playing with the New Orleans Saints. And I'm going to get to that. His NFL career stats, 1,173 tackles, 8 interceptions, 128 career sacks, 40 forced fumbles. Man, that's getting it done in the National Football League. Then I'm going to move back to what he did when he moved into the league as college stats. He had 290 tackles, 21 sacks, and 4 pass defenses before he got to the NFL at the University of Pittsburgh. And then, as I just mentioned, look what he did when he got there. But what we're going to remember Rickey Jackson is this right here. December 24th, 1986, against the arch rival Atlanta Falcons. He had 4 sacks in that game. That's 1986. He had been in the league 5 years. But he played with probably the best collective unit of starting linebackers on one team. They call themselves the Dome Patrol. Boy, was they super, super good. Vaughn Johnson, North Carolina State. Pat Swilling, the ATL, Georgia Tech. And, of course, the late, great Sam Mills. Watching that linebacker core play, man, it was special. It was at another level. And that's why Rickey Jackson is getting his flowers today. And then after Rickey Jackson finished his career with the New Orleans Saints, I was so happy that he was able to get a Super Bowl ring in 1994 with the San Francisco 49ers. And that team was very talented, bro. Steve Young, William Floyd, Dexter Carter, Deion Sanders, the greatest receiver to ever play the game, Jerry Rice. And then Rickey Jackson finally being inducted into the Hall of Fame after his retirement. Man, this gentleman was a hell of a football player. And I'm going to get to his skill set. Productive, A+. Dominant as a pass rusher, A+. Sideline to sideline, A+. Immediate impact at the linebacker position, A+. Wreaked havoc on the outside, A+. Pride as hell as a linebacker, A+. Work ethic off the charts, A+. Instincts off the charts, A+. Excellent ball skills off the charts as a linebacker, A+. Excellent against defending the pass. Can run with some of the tight ends at the time in the league, A+. And was dedicated to excellence as a linebacker. Ricky Jackson. He's been one of the best that ever played this game, pound for pound, brother. I'm not going to lie. And when we talk about great linebackers, especially playing during that era, everybody, of course, want to mention the greatest that played the position, Lawrence Taylor. There's no question about it. Everybody want to mention Mike Singletary. There's no question about it. Everybody want to mention Sam Mills, Mr. Jackson's running partner. There's no question about it. But when you look at it and we go back in time and we face glory, Ricky Jackson is one of the best linebackers that's played this game on the college level in the National Football League. Tell you a true story before I end the video today. I have a sister that lives down in the New Orleans area. Shout outs to my sister today, the lovely Mrs. Bridget Turner. And the first time that I visited New Orleans was 1993. And the first spot that I stayed in was the Comfort Inn. The Comfort Inn right outside New Orleans in Metairie. And the Comfort Inn, it was a club inside the hotel. It was called Club 57. You know who owned it? Ricky Jackson. And once I checked into the hotel, the gentleman, the guy that was waiting on me, excellent customer service rep, said, "Hey, man, it's your first time in New Orleans?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to give you 2 white Russians." That's from Mr. Ricky Jackson, the owner. Anybody that comes to town, he gives them 2 free drinks. And man, 2 white Russians. And I had just stepped down in New Orleans for about 30 minutes. And I'm always going to take that with me because them white Russian drinks were off the kizza. This is an outstanding football player, man. Ricky Jackson. Give him his flowers today here on 100 Yards of Football. If you like the video, please come in and share it. We'll surely appreciate it here on 100 Yards of Football. I've been your host, Vincent Turner. Special thanks to my producer, the very talented Mr. Jeremiah Long. Y'all be blessed today here on 100 Yards of